Let's talk about Iran because I think we may, and by the way, we probably will invade tonight after I record this. From what I am hearing, these talks in Geneva are productive to a degree. Also, here's the deal. We've built a tremendous military buildup. This is bigger than anything we've ever done, but I think, and this has been reported, I'm not breaking any news, but like the military is telling Trump this is not an easy war. And we don't know if we get bogged down in this war with Iran, if we're going to be able to fight other people, if that's going to leave us vulnerable and exposed. You know, they've got a significant number of jet fighters and support aircraft to the Middle East, assembling the greatest amount of air power in the region since the 2003 invasion of Iraq. But I just don't know. We're not living in a world where we can just knock the shit out of people anymore. We're not living in that world. You don't realize how good it was in 2003. You could just go knock the shit out of these countries. You could knock the shit out of these countries without any type of, and listen, would people die? Would it be an issue? Would it be a problem? Would you spend a lot of money? Would you overextend yourself? Yes. But I'll tell you this, the power that we had back then to act unopposed, unilaterally unopposed, to just go and knock the shit out of these guys. You can't do that with Iran. It's not going to work. The military options are not great. They're going into Trump. They're going, listen, we can hit him here. We can hit him there. We don't know what's going to happen afterwards. The Ayatollah is living in an underground bunker. Ayatollah Khamenei, I believe I pronounced that correct. And he's living in an underground bunker, but there's no good, the Iran war people, and I'm around, I kind of live in Beverly Hills half the time, so I understand the Iranian regime sucks. They're killing protesters, they're killing their own people. And I understand the excitement, and sometimes I even get into it. Because I'm surrounded by Persians and I like their food. I like hummus and that is, that's whatever salad that with the chopped, whatever. But the point is, I get it. I get into it. And they're like, free Iran. And I'm with it. And I can get swept up into that free Iran fever. Because sometimes it does feel good to just drive in your car, and think about, a bunch of people that are being, oppressed and they, whatever, by a government that I certainly wouldn't want to live under. And if that government were to be able to magically go away and get replaced by a better government, everybody's happy. I'm happy. I have nothing to say positive about Iran or the mullahs. But I don't know how the fuck we do this. And I think the military is going to Trump and going, we don't really know how the fuck we do this. Like, yes, the American military is the greatest in the world. They can do whatever. But I think they're going to him and they're going, listen, man, the options are not great here. They're not like amazing options. If we go in and we decapitate the leadership, we don't really, number one, they're going to fight. They're going to fight back. They've got a real military. They've got an arsenal of weapons. They get weapons from Russia. They get weapons from China. They're not a completely isolated country. They have, allies. Now, are Russia and China going to jump into the fight? No. China will happily watch us bankrupt ourselves and completely politically, our system completely like disintegrate. And China will just, the chaos that this will sow, not only in the region, but here at home, China will just gleefully watch. And Russia's busy in the Ukraine. So I don't think it spills into like a World War III thing. But the economy, the global economy, oil exports, these things, Iran could start hitting U.S. bases in the Gulf. They could start destroying facilities. The global economy could suffer greatly. It's a real war. It's not bullshit. You could see a spike in oil prices. They could close the Straits of Hormuz. There's all kinds of things. And everyone has said this, by the way. This is, but we have a lot of artillery there. We have a lot of weaponry there. And it does feel like it's something might happen, even though everything I've just said are good reasons to try to obviously like take the temperature and you turn the temperature down here. I do think that we have so much there. We have such a buildup there. We have F-35, F-22 fighter jets, 2 aircraft carriers. And I'm wondering if, now bear with me, is there a way to do a wag the dog fake war? Listen to me, because we want to save face. We have a lot of stuff there. Is there a way to have a fake war that doesn't exist? There was a movie called Wag the Dog about this, where we blow some stuff up, we have a press conference, the Iranians have a press conference, and we end this thing. Because we have too much, we've spent a lot of money to move these boats over there, and, you know, we got to do something, but is there a way to just do a kind of pretend fake strike on Iran? No one will really know, and we save face, and we say, listen, we did it, and everything's fine now. Everything's fine. They're not making nukes anymore. They learned their lesson. Because what scares me is that we're just too in deep now, and that. But get up these talks in Geneva. These Geneva talks with Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, they are making progress. I believe they are making progress because I think Iran is showing flexibility because they know they're not going to win this war. They know it'll be it's going to be a prolonged conflict, and it's hard to imagine America getting anything out of this, but Iran knows that they're not going to be able to go up against the United States of America and win. The government is going to fall. U.S.-Iran nuclear talks wrap up with no announcement of a deal as risk of war looms. However, this is in Geneva. Iran and the United States held hours of indirect negotiations Thursday over Tehran's nuclear program, but walked away without a deal, leaving the danger of another Midwest war on the table as the U.S. has gathered a massive fleet of aircraft and warships in the region. Oman's Foreign Minister Badr al-Buzaidi, who mediated the talks in Geneva, said there has been significant progress in the negotiation without elaborating. This could be solved diplomatically. But by the way, Israel will not be happy. They will not be happy. They will push for war. They want the regime to be toppled. The neoconservatives in America will probably push for war, the Ted Cruz types, whatever. They want this whole thing's about remaking the Middle East. And if you take Iran out as a regional player, it's easier to remake the Middle East. So Israel's probably not going to be happy, but diplomacy is the only way here. That America doesn't want this war. America does not want this war. I mean, we've got white-collar people. They got about 8 months left of their jobs before they're on the street eating people's legs. We don't need a war. Unless all those white-collar consultants join the military and go fight and die in Iran, we don't need a fucking war in the Middle East. So we can either do something fake, which I'm for, a pretend show of force, but I did talk to somebody who said it feels like we're too far down the line. There's a little bit of war fever in Washington, and that it's gripped people, and that there's an inertia that's moving us forward towards this conflict no matter what we do. And that once we're on a path like this, it's very hard to completely reverse course. That's what somebody told me. Now, maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. But they did say it does feel like we are on a collision course for Iran. We have Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff. I believe the talks are Kushner, Steve Witkoff, and then Erica Kirk Erica Kirk is over there negotiating with the Iranians right now. And I'm hopeful that she can pull this off. Erica Kirk, of course, wife of Charlie Kirk, RIP. But Erica Kirk right now over in Iran negotiating on behalf of the United States government. And we hope that it is, we hope it's positive. We don't know. U.S.-Iran negotiations wrap for the day. I don't know. I can just tell you, you know what it is? A war, you need to have the right vibes for a war. This is something that many people don't understand. You need to just feel a certain way before you go to war. You need to have a certain, there's got to be kind of a like war vibe. We just haven't achieved it yet. We haven't achieved it yet. We're not there as a country yet. You know what I mean? People are too busy in this country jester maxing. No one's ready for this war. We just don't, nobody's into it. And it's being put, you can feel when something's being pushed and no one wants it. You can feel it. And that's what you feel about the Iran war. Nobody's really into it. And the people that are into it have to accuse the people that aren't into it of being anti-Semitic or, they have a lack of imagination. Well, don't you see Iran will be free? And you go, yeah, do we trust Pete Hegseth to handle this? Do we trust Kash Patel to handle the maybe domestic retaliation attacks that might come if Iran has sleeper cells here, which some people say they have? Do we trust Kash Patel to be on top of it?